particularly among women and also particularly in the education sector. Any Besant was instrumental in establishment of my own alma mater, Banaras Hindu University. So I'm particularly delighted to have this education sector delegation in Dublin. Coming to the contemporary priorities for India and Ireland, I must be candid that unfortunately in India the extremely stunning transformation of Ireland from an agrarian society to a cutting-edge technology provider has not yet been fully appreciated. And that is why it's important that you came and you are seeing yourself. Ireland is a population of only 5 million people, but it's about $500 billion GDP. And also the stereotypical notion in India is that people are coming and foreign investors are coming to Ireland only because of the tax incentives. It was a great strategy on the part of Irish leaders, but over years it has transformed into a very, very robust ecosystem of innovation and creativity. And I'm very happy to share that Ireland's last year, Ireland's manufactured goods trade, export and import taken together was 270 billion euros. 165 billion euros of merchandise goods export from Ireland. That is a concrete, tangible export from Ireland. India's export this year has crossed $417 billion. Let's see the huge economy that Ireland represents with a small population. Secondly, as we are looking at reimagining India-Ireland ties in the next 25 years, when we celebrate 100 years of independence, incidentally, Ireland has marked 100 years of independence this year. I think education is going to be the foundation for our next phase of partnership. This is very important for many reasons. First of all, Ireland has many world-class universities and institutes of technology. I have myself worked in the US and Canada, and I'm familiar with other countries like international education scenario. I'm very delighted that in Ireland, all of the universities are maintaining very high standards, whereas in many other countries, you find that there is a spectrum. Some universities are very good, even in developed countries. Some universities are very good, some universities are not so good. Whereas here, you can pick up any university and you will have a very good quality education. And the second reason is that Ireland is the fastest growing economy in the European Union, but its own population is very small, about 5 million. And the domestic labor force is only about 2.5 million people. So there is not enough domestic skilled manpower production within. Even if you look at US or Canada or Australia or UK, so they have huge population and there is a huge domestic production of skilled manpower. So Ireland is dependent on critical supply of skilled manpower from outside. So therefore, I see education has to be conceived as a real connector between India and Ireland, and I'm very keen that we have a fresh approach. We have about 6,500 Indian students coming to Ireland, and many of Irish universities have established their points and representatives in India. They are working very hard in expanding their network. And I must thank Wendy for your own leadership in this field and tireless efforts. So there is a lot happening. There is a low-hanging fruit to pick up, but we need a new strategy. My request is that please look at the prospects on both sides together. If you look at the Indian higher education, technical education scenario, then there has been massive growth. The number of universities during Prime Minister Modi's time has increased from 700 to 1,000. 1,050 universities. Similarly, there has been very significant growth in number of IITs and IIMs and AIMS, and in terms of expansion, there has been very, very impressive. But in terms of upgradation in quality, there is still a lot of work to be done. And this is where Irish Friends can be a great partner. Because Ireland has a long-standing history of engaging and contributing in India in education sector. So it's a natural affinity that we enjoy in high technical education sector. So my first request is that please look at institutional partnerships. And institutional partnerships not from the point of view of individual-centric approach. Like grant of few scholarships and people coming and going, studying and doing PhD and then vanishing. Please keep institutional linkages and institutional growth and strengthening of those ties in mind. And the individual exchanges should be tailor-made to dovetail into your larger strategy. Second is you focus on like prioritizing. Each one of you can identify what is the niche area that you want to create your institution's brand. And accordingly, you identify your 1 or 2 or 3 high priority area from the Indian side. And I'm requesting Irish Friends also to like identify their niche areas which they would like to project in India, and I can be the matchmaker, so to say. It has to be a thoughtful matchmaking because India is so big, so complex, and anyone will get lost. So unless we are thoughtful, unless we are like adopting a granular approach and grounded strategy, it will not sustain. Second request is that whatever we think, we have to be practical. It has to be in terms of structured, sustainable modalities which will lead to success and long duration, enduring, mutually beneficial partnership. So there is no way of shying away from discussing the nuts and bolts issue of partnership. When you are thinking of relationship with Irish institutions, then please think about how it will be implemented. Third aspect is for India and also for Ireland, innovation and startup, entrepreneurship, youth-led, that is the key. While Ireland has about 1,700 multinational companies and 9 out of 10 IT companies of the world, they are based here. 9 out of 10 biggest pharma companies are based here. Medtech companies and other cutting-edge technologies, they are based here. But Ireland is equally vibrant in the startup segment. It's about 25,000-30,000 startups, and they are creating more than half of the jobs every year. Also, Ireland's startup cluster is one of the most successful compared to European average of 6 to 7%. Ireland's average success rate in the startup segment is 16 to 17%. India's success rate in startup segment is only 1 to 2%. Although our numbers are very big, about 70,000 startups, and third biggest unicorn numbers, about 92 unicorns in India. 46 unicorns were created only last year. We both have extremely vibrant ecosystems of innovation and startup campaign kind of thing. There is a huge merit in connecting the startup and innovation and entrepreneurship hubs of India and Ireland, and institutions like yours can play a key role. So I think with these 3 key messages, I would end my remarks, and I would like to have your thoughts, learn about your experience. And I know that it's a short visit, and we do not have given you all the exposure that you need, but this is a great beginning. And my colleagues in the embassy and I are always at your disposal. anything we can do to support you, guide you in terms of facilitate your connections with Ireland, I'll be very delighted. And also, not only in the tertiary education, but also I'm very keen in the pre-university linkages, particularly the teaching methodology. How the Irish friends are innovating every year. The education itself, the content is separate, but methodology, use of technology, use of innovative methods to deliver. So there's a lot for us to learn from each other and share and be partners. Once again, my very warm welcome to each one of you, and we look forward to keeping in touch and working together. Thank you.